Super Mario Odyssey is one of the best-selling games for the Nintendo Switch, and some even consider it to be the best Super Mario game ever made. It features an immense amount of moons, which creates a lot of gameplay variety, for normal playthroughs and speedruns alike. This insane variety also leads to runners being able to adjust the moons they want to get, whether it is because they think a moon is faster, or if they think that grabbing a different moon is an easier alternative. It also means that the route we will show will change very quickly, or it might have changed already, as new stuff is discovered very frequently. Also, we will try to cover the same moons most of the time, but sometimes it's just impossible as the game requires you to get some moons in order to proceed, which leads to both playthroughs going for different ones. This, however, doesn't mean that we can't show off this beautiful game, so let's hop right into it. We start off at the Cap Kingdom, where we get introduced to Cappy, our new companion who helps us with our journey to rescue Princess Peach. We race the bridge, enter the first door and take over a frog, which turns ourselves into a frog. This is followed by a little jumping minigame in order to learn the mechanics. From here we head to the Top Hat Tower, where we move clockwise to the very top of it and get introduced to the first broodal. This one is fairly easy to defeat. After we remove his 3 hats by hitting him with Cappy, we have to jump onto his head and then figure out under which one of the 3 hats he's hiding. We repeat this one more time and the broodal is defeated. Once we arrive in the Cascade Kingdom, it's our task to find our first moon, which is quickly found after taking over a chain chomp and then destroying a few rocks with a rubber band mechanic. The bridge lowers and we can move on. We hand in the first moon and Cappy realizes that the moon alone isn't gonna cut it. We need more. We move on and find a couple of chain chomps, where we use the same ability to break even more rocks. After doing so one more time, we walk into the tube and turn into 2D Mario, which lets us climb the mountain and face the broodal woman that would rather have her chain chomp eat us than help us at all. Exact same mechanic again. We use the rubber banding and hit her with her own pet 3 times, which ultimately convinces her to hand us over the multi-moon amulet. We head back to our ship and hand in the moons, just to realize that we're still missing one. We go to the left, take over the chain chomp, get rid of the blocks, and then use the pipe to get up another hill, where a moon awaits us. The only thing left now is to jump back down and we're off to the Sand Kingdom.
First things first, we use motion controls in order to roll faster, as this gives us a good speed boost every time we shake the controller. Also, it comes in really handy that Nintendo allows us to skip cutscenes, except for the first one, so let's get going. We get control and roll ourselves to the bridge. We continue to proceed over the bridge, using a pretty fast-paced movement thanks to the combination of rolling and shaking the controller. We enter the first room, get the frog, and jump our way to the exit. Here we then head to the left, perform a triple jump, followed by a cap throw jump dive, then throwing the cap towards the wall in order to do a wall jump, then another cap throw to jump onto the railing and into the broodal fight. This looks hard, but really shows what you can do in Super Mario Odyssey. We skip the cutscene for the fight, run towards the broodal and throw our hat into him while performing a double jump towards him for another 2 hits, which immediately forces him to hide inside his hats. We jump onto the upper hat, then throw Cappy and hold the button in order to make it stay in place and remove all the hats on its own. One more jump on the broodal's head, and he is defeated. Cascade Kingdom. We skip the cutscenes and start rolling our way to victory. As we approach the bridge, we jump onto the chunk that hides the first moon in it. Here it gets tricky. We throw Cappy a little further than the pillar itself and keep him there by holding the button, while performing a ground pound into a full speed roll ourselves. This will make us blast forward onto Cappy, which forces us to jump with a lot of momentum, which we can then use to do 2 more jump dives in order to skip the bridge entirely. Doing so allows us to skip the endless amount of cutscenes waiting for us just after lowering the bridge. We continue and head to the left, perform a triple jump on what seems to be a buried ship and get onto the hill, where we perform another triple jump and double dive our way to the T-Rex, which we can now take over. However, there won't be a T-Rex for long, as we just drop down and destroy the rocks which are on top of the trampoline. We trigger it as a T-Rex by stepping on it with its left foot and head towards the female broodal. Just as the T-Rex falls down again, we turn back into normal Mario and jump into the fight. This fight plays out rather similar to the normal playthrough. We throw Cappy to remove the hat, then take over the chain chomp and use the shaking mechanic to make it move faster. After the first hit, we throw Cappy and hold him in position, followed by us moving away a little. The Broodal will now throw the chain chomp, miss us, and we can remove its hat by making Cappy return to us. Just as Cappy comes back, we backflip, as this makes it possible for us to throw Cappy again right away and taking over the chain chomp once more. We do this one more time and get the 3 moons at once. So far, so good. This puts us back in front of the airship from where we first roll, then triple jump and jump dive our way to the moon on the left without using the pipe. We roll off on the right and get into the water. While doing so, we throw Cappy into a small cave and open a hidden chest this way, which contains another moon. A jump dive onto Cappy, turn around and performing another one will bring us to the ship again with the right amount of moons needed to proceed to Sand Kingdom. Clearly the speedrun has some interesting tricks up its sleeve. And even better, this video only covered the first 5 minutes of the speedrun. So thank you for watching this week's video. Leave a comment if you'd like to see more of casual versus speedrun on Odyssey, as there is a ton to cover. Like, really, a ton.